everyone, this is Thecos, and I am back with yet another video about like the games I'm most excited for Spiel. This is part 2, and there will be no more parts because I mean Spiel already is like very soon, right? Every publisher or designer who hasn't put up their game into the geek list here for the Spiel Essen on Board Game Geek will just not be covered in these two videos. But that doesn't mean that I will not take a look at them. Maybe I will still do so at Spiel itself. Alright, so today I will have another, I think, 39 games for you. In my first video I had like 59, of course. I mean, that's almost 100 games. I will not want to get all of those, right? But these are all games that I'm generally interested in. Some of them I will definitely get this year. Some of them I will just take a look at. Some of them I might not have the time or chance to take a look at. Of course, I mean, that it's just way too many for these 2 days that I'm going to be there. So yeah, some other games I will just have on my long list, so to speak, and then I don't know, maybe be there at some point. What I just realized is now I understand why Cascadia was added the second time. There are like different editions here. So yeah, I would definitely have to delete that German one here because that's not interesting for Cascadia landmarks. And there are like other games that have been added twice, I think. So now I know why. Alright, didn't pay attention to that. Alright, so I suppose we can get started. First up is Skyrockets by Floodgate Games. They are the ones who also made Kites. And well, Skyrockets is pretty similar. You I don't know if you have any images here, not really. But there are also timers. You can see it here. There are also timers in the middle, and you're trying to like create these skyrockets here. And it's also cooperative, real-time game. I don't know how similar it will be to Kites. Kites has like a really cool theme. I like Kites, like the theme of Kites more than Skyrockets, but I'm pretty sure I will take a look at that just to see like how much it differs. If it's like too similar, then I'm just happy with Kites, but I at least want to take a look at it. Next up is a new game, and that is Maldivia, and that is, somehow you have like this foldable cloth game board. Let's see if I can find it, and you like collect and sell fish on here, but like the twist here is that you like can like fold over the board that like shrinks, right? And that is a pretty cool thing. So so you're like competing with other players around that board that like keeps getting smaller. I don't know if it is any good or not. We will have to see about that, but it looks pretty interesting at least. Then the next game is Cloudy Kingdom, which is quite interesting. It's like a route building game, like a network or route building game. And you have like this castle on your side, and you need to, like here, I think the yellow one here, for example. No, I'm not quite sure. But and then you need to connect it to like the other castles. Like the other castles of your color on the other side, and you do that by like playing these beanstalks here to create a route. But you can like play them like in 90 degrees, either like that or like that, and you can also like build over other cards. You see that? Then you create like very interesting routes, like with different cards. You see like here, maybe that there's like really a stack of cards, right? So that sounds really interesting. Unfortunately, no solo mode, but it makes sense for that kind of game. So that is like it's almost like an area control game, kind of, right? And so that is very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to just checking that out at least. The next one, I don't know how exciting that one is, but I mean, it is called Tricky Badger. It is, I mean, badgers are amazing, right? And I just love nature-themed games, but this is like a trick-taking game where you also try to collect sets. And I like set collection games, and trick-taking is pretty cool as well. So that's a pretty cool combination, and we can take a look at a few photos here to kind of see how it looks like, because the art style is pretty cool as well. I quite enjoy that. One thing that kind of holds me back is, of course, like with most trick takers, 3 players minimum. I don't like to have too many games like 3 players minimum in my collection, except if they're like party games, because these are a little bit harder to get to the table. But yeah, looks like an interesting concept at least. The next one is a small highlight for me, because with a smile and a gun is supposed to be a really good 1 to 2 player game, especially solo. It's supposed to be quite interesting. And this already came out a few years ago, but I actually spoke with the developer, or with the developers, with the publishers, and I asked them if there's some way to get this in Germany, because it wasn't just not possible to get it, except a print and play version, but there's like a lot to print and play and a lot to print and to assemble, and it was really expensive to import that. So that's why I wait. It's still on my long list for maybe I can get it sometime, and this year the German version is coming out. The good thing is that it doesn't have a necessary in-game text, so I can also get the German version for the channel to play for you. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to, because it was just impossible to get it so far. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then we have Run. Run is by Fowers Games, right? It's not by Tim Fowers, but at least by Fowers Games, and has like pretty cool art style. Again, there's a 2-player game of cat and mouse, so like a hidden movement game, and you can like use gadgets like while you're like here going through the city over the skyline somehow. I don't quite know how it works, but from Fowers Games, that is already like something that I want to check out, because I like the games by Fowers Games so far a lot. So yeah, definitely something that I want to check out. The next game on my list is Printing Press. This has already come out this year. Might have been a Kickstarter thing, I'm not quite sure. But it should be at Spiel as well. I mean, it's part of the geek list, so I guess it is. And this is like a set collection and puzzle game, and it seems to have a few similarities with like Calico, like where you put stuff, and like adjacency I think is important. I don't know a whole lot more about it. I just know that it's also a solo mode. The rating is okay. It's not that great, but also look at this, not too many ratings yet, so that is not really like an indicator here of its quality, right? But that's something that I at least want to check out. You can play it solo. It is a pretty good puzzly game. It shouldn't be too hard. You see it weight 2.5. That's okay. That's around like Wingspan level, which is fine. Depending on how elegant this game is, you might also be able to play it with other people. Best at 2, which is also okay. So looking forward to just checking that out. The next one is a really cute one. That is Rats of Wistar. That like the theme is great, right? So like every player plays like one of 4 rats, and you have organized to escape for the famous Wistar Institute, and you're trying to like lead the entire colony, and then you have to like do a lot of things over 4-5 rounds to actually gain victory points. You build beds, you build excavation rooms, solving missions within the farm, you welcome host mice, you build new inventions, claim achievements. It just sounds really cute. It is a little bit higher weight. I mean, not high, right? For me, it's fine, but I mean, if you want to play it with other people, but it's only 4 ratings so far, so don't know how complex it is. It looks quite complex because it does have a lot going on here on the table. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that out because the theme is really cool. It just seems like quite a lot. So I don't know if that is something that actually fits into my collection, but I hope it does because it might be something for the channel even. The next one is another entry into the Orléans series, and to be honest, I haven't played any games of that series yet. I still have to do that because Orléans is supposed to be like a really good game. So yeah, but this is like a cooperative version of that, not of that game, but like a cooperative game in that universe, and you're trying to like build a cathedral together cooperatively. And I think like the main mechanism here is there are no images, right? No, but the main mechanism is that you actually have like 2 bags where you draw tiles from, and you also have to decide which bag you want to draw the tiles from. But I think there's also like a slight memory aspect in there which I don't like too much, but it sounds pretty interesting. It's unfortunate that you can't play it solo, although it's a cooperative game, but it looks quite interesting. It could be a little bit gimmicky, right? Because they actually do build that 3D cathedral. Question is that fun? Are these materials durable? Doesn't make any sense to actually assemble that. I don't know. Might be a little bit gimmicky, but it looks at least interesting, and I really like cooperative games. I have quite a lot in my collection. I think like 25 to 30 at least, just cooperative games. I think even more. I don't know a whole lot about the next one. The next one is Moorland or Moorland, depending on which language you pronounce that in. This is something like you have like a moor, and you're trying to like keep it alive by creating a diverse habitat. I don't know a whole lot more about it. It's supposed to be like tile placement and set collection, among other things. And yeah, seem to have like this board, and it looks like it's like separated from like different, like 4 different like larger boards. So maybe there's some variable setup there, and just placing stuff on there. Like these really cool, look at these really cool tokens here. These look really nice, but I'm not 100% sure how that exactly works. Actually, we do have a little overview over how a round looks like. So let's see. So you draw a plant card and X more cards, and depending on the players +1, and then you take 1 card then you put a plant marker on a piece of your moor, and then you can also play these moor cards. Alright, that's all you do. So mainly you play cards and you put down tokens. Okay, these are the cards here. Alright, that works. That's probably the first player token, which is amazing. That mushroom there. Where is it? There. Really cool. But yeah, okay, this sounds interesting. This is a theme that I haven't really seen explored so far. It is something nature-based, which I always enjoy. So yeah, could be something that I could enjoy. Unfortunately, no solo mode, but that's the way it is. The next one is really interesting. I like party games, and I like party games that are accessible, that are fun, that you can play with a lot of players. 8 players, that's fine. It's like a short game. It's probably easy to teach. That's like it's like great. This ticks a lot of boxes, and especially it is a drawing-based game, which I always like. I'm not great at drawing, but I like to do it. Long-time viewers on my channel should know that I like that a lot. And what you do here is you actually draw something on a transparent card, and your partner does as well. And then you have to like put both transparent cards on top of each other, hoping that that you will somehow like create like a painting that needs to be guessed then, the word, right? So you see it here, like transparent cards, you just put them on top of each other then. So that's a pretty cool idea. I don't know if that is just a gimmick or if it will actually work, but very much looking forward to checking that out actually. This is by Cranial Creations. They have done a few other games that I know, right? Let me just check. No, they have definitely not made these games. But I know they have done a few games that I actually know. Next up is the 4-1 series. There are like 4 games coming out, maybe even more. And these are all games that are designed for just one player. They're coming out in German as far as I know. I just hope that they're not language dependent because, to be honest, right, like having like small box solo games that are easy to play, that is perfect for the channel, right? So yeah, I would like to get all of these. I'd have to write them a mail, Schmidt Spiele, and have to ask them if it's possible to somehow maybe pre-order or reserve like copies of that. Galaktix we have here. So you have like you have like rockets, and you have to like move them down these 5 paths here. Do we have like an image? We do. And you do that, I think, by rolling dice, and then also like using these tokens. You just have to like get them all down here. Seems like these are the rockets here. So yeah. I don't know how good this game is, but I mean, it's a small box solo game. I'm always up for trying that out. Next one is actually, that is Yahtzee. That's the German word for Yahtzee. It is a solo Yahtzee. And that is interesting. Because, to be honest, Yahtzee is one of the very few classic games that I really enjoy. Yahtzee has the issue of like a downward curve, right? Because you start strong, you can like fill in a lot of stuff, but as the game goes on, you can do less and less. And that's exactly the wrong way of how a game should develop. You should be able to do more and more later on, right? So that's like the main gripe I have with Yahtzee. But apart from that, having 5 dice and then like rolling twice more, trying to like decide which dice to keep, that is a great thing. I like that concept, and it looks pretty much like similar to the multiplayer version, but there are like a few things here, whatever these do. And also you have like more dice. Oh, it seems like you actually this is not a roll and write like the regular Yahtzee. It seems like you actually leave the dice on there. Okay, that is pretty cool. Like a lot of small dice. That could be really, really cool. So I'm really interested in that one. I hope they adjusted the rules a little bit so that you don't have just a score hunt, but maybe you do different things. Because it says like place dice and scoring combinations, you can reclaim it, reuse them. So it sounds pretty interesting. Looking forward to that quite a lot. So just having a glass of water here. Give me a second. All right, there we go. Always staying hydrated. That's good. All right. The next 4-1 one is a number up. I don't know anything about that except that you have like a 5x5 grid and you like flip cards to like fill that grid and complete specific challenges. I don't know anything else about that, but it's also part of the same series, and well, I'm just interested in those small box solo games, as I said, right? Same thing here. Schwarze Rosen, that is black roses in English, well, in German, so to speak. And you like place like domino style tiles into like a flower bed. I guess like a solo domino kind of thing. And yeah, sure, I'm up for that. I'm always up for like reimaginings of games in just a different style. So very, very interesting. The next one is one of my highlights. That is Everdell Farshore. As far as I know, please correct me if you know it better than I do, but as far as I know, this is like kind of a reimagining of Everdell. So it's like a similar game. It also looks kind of similar, but it's like simpler. It's more approachable. And it doesn't really, the weight doesn't really say that, but I mean, the weight, I mean, how many people have voted here? 7. I mean, I don't know. But it's supposed to be a little bit, like, it looks like Everdell, you see? It really looks like Everdell. It even has like something to build here. Yeah, it looks like a lot like that. But it's supposed to be like a little bit simpler, a little bit more approachable, a little bit more refined. And I'm a huge Everdell fan. But I do think that Everdell could be maybe a little bit more streamlined, and maybe that is it. I hope that this is a really cool version of Everdell, because you must know I don't have any Everdell expansions, because I think just bloating the game with more and more expansions, I'm not quite sure. I might get that one that supports up to 5 players, but I've been waiting, I've been hesitant for a while, and well, now this version is coming out, so really interested in that. And also it's a cool theme to have like this more like nautical theme instead of the forest, so this is one of my highlights, definitely. Next up is a set collection game with like deduction aspects, Tiny Woodies. This is something really small. I don't know how well known that is. Well, it does have a few ratings already here, as you can see, and they are quite decent actually. Okay, not too bad. Okay, nice. So I have seen that on Instagram. I'm actually following the developers of this game, and I just like the theme and also the artwork here. I think it's pretty cute. I think this only exists in German so far, and that could be, but that's fine because it doesn't have a solo mode anyway. But this is something that I would maybe like to take a look at. It says action drafting, deduction, hidden roll, set collection, exactly. And you're trying to like you have like, I think you have like specific tasks, or like a task, and you try to complete the task as quickly as you can. So yeah, interesting. And you can play it up to 6 players. That's quite good as well, and the weight isn't too high, so might be like a cute little card game to actually take a look at. The next one is mostly interesting because of the theme, Mind Space. So it's like a polyomino shape kind of game. So you have like this, these cards. These are like specific emotions. As far if I've understood it correctly, they give all these emotions. You're trying to fill your brain. You can see that it has like the shape of a brain, kind of, right? Not the shape, but like these wobbly lines. It's supposed to represent one at least. I guess that's maybe the neck here, right? And you're trying to fill like these, fill like your brain with all these emotions. And I guess the emotions are again. And I don't quite know what these do, but I guess in essence, this is just the theme. In essence, you're just trying to have like specific scoring conditions for the different colors, I guess, because you see some stuff is like it's like crossed out here, and you see like these markers, so that means that these are actually wipeable. So yeah, pretty cool. Something I just want to take a look at. You can also play it solo, so yeah, definitely something I will want to take a look at. The next one is EOS, Island of Angels. This is something that I followed on Kickstarter, or was it on GameFound? I'm not quite sure. Somewhere on crowdfunding, but I did not back it in the end, because I was very unsure whether this is something I wanted in my collection or not. This is something where you like compete with others to free like angels from the clutches of demons, so to speak. It does have some worker placement stuff and some drafting mechanisms, I think. It looks pretty cool actually, like having this round tableau here, and it looks pretty cool. But I'm just not 100% sure whether that is something that I want to have my collection. That's probably like an older. That's like the older version on Tabletop Simulator, I suppose. Yeah, that's Tabletop Simulator for sure. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting, but also looks quite massive. So I'm not 100% sure yet, because it is a little bit more complex. It does not have a solo mode, although the community is voting here on that it can be played solo, where one person voted on that. So I don't know, but I at least want to take a look at, because I was interested in that, and let's see what we can see there at Spiel. The next one is another highlight for me with a little but, because I love Sea Salt and Paper. It's one of my most favorite card games currently, and it's like this mini expansion, like with 8 new cards that have like different effects, new effects. Issue is that it's coming out in English and in French at Spiel, and I have the German version, so I don't know if the cards are a lot different from the English version or German version. I will have to like find that out. If they're exactly the same, then I can get it. But there are also like help cards there, so I would like to get the German version actually. And I don't know if I can get the German version this year, but well, I hope so. The next one is a set collection game by Louis Brew, and that is already like a good reason to check that out. I think it will be part of the next campaign by Louis for Keep the Heroes Out. I think you can also order that with it, I think. But if it's at Spiel, I might already take a look at. If it is language neutral because it doesn't support solo play. But that is the designer of Keep the Heroes Out, a game I will play on my channel quite soon. It is an amazing game, one of my most favorite games ever. And Tavern Tussle is just another game like in his lineup, and that's already really enough to get it for me. It's like a set collection, take that game with a little bit of drafting, but there are no images here to show you. There's not a whole lot I know about that, but it's like a cool theme, cool art style as usual, so definitely looking forward to that. The next one was something that I actually checked out on Kickstarter. I followed that campaign, but it was just, I mean, it looks great with all these enemy builds here. Look at these, how amazing these are, but it was just too expensive for me. Just too pricey, and I really didn't know whether that was a game that would hit the table very often. But it does look pretty cool, and I really love the original Zoo Tycoon game. Like even the new ones, the new one that came out. I mean, that's pretty much where the logo is from, I think. So I will definitely check it out at Spiel. I will see whether or not, like what the prices are, if you can buy it there. And I will have to, like, maybe I can have a little small demo to see like how that works. But I'm definitely interested in checking that out because I like the IP, I like the theme, so I definitely would like to take a look at. Look at like this. You have like everything in like this little insert here. It looks pretty well done, but it was like really pricey, which makes sense because of all these different meeples. But still, yeah, I definitely want to check that out at Spiel though. About the next game, I don't know too much, to be honest. It is like a card-driven game. I know that it's like some kind of hand management game where you're trying to combine cards with each other to build up like a civilization. That is already all I know, right? But it does look pretty interesting. The theme is cool. And I like everything that I like card combination kind of things, right? But like one card triggers another one. I don't know if that is such a game, but kind of looks and sounds like it. And also there are like some kind of cool components here. See like these little things here, these like little tablets, really cool. So I don't know, I just want to at least just go by the stand and take a look, and if it catches my interest I will look further. If not, then I will just leave it, but it looks pretty cool. Just want to take a look at it at least. About the next one, I don't know a whole lot either, but it is an adventure game. It is story driven as far as I know, and it is a solo game. So that is all I need to know to be interested immediately. So it's supposed to be quite complex as well. You see, like this is all German here. That would be kind of bad because in a solo game like this, I would need in English. So I don't know if this also will be in English at Spiel, but it's something that I definitely want to take a look at because, well, a solo roll and write dice adventure would be just perfect for the channel, right? So yeah, but it is supposed to be quite complex. I don't know how complex because nobody has voted here yet, I guess. Right? Yeah, nobody has voted here, so I have no idea, but definitely something I would take a look at because, I mean, yeah, like just from what I'm seeing here, it ticks a lot of boxes. Just gotta see whether or not it's actually in English and whether or not I actually like what I see when I'm at Spiel. Regarding the next one, another roll and write, I only know the theme, so I don't actually quite know how exactly it works, but it is like a cooperative game that you can also play solo, only up to 3 players, unfortunately, but you're trying to carry out the perfect heist, and that is a pretty cool idea. But I think there already was one. Yeah, I think this is a print and play, and now they're actually releasing it as a real game. I think that's it. But it is in German here, so I don't know. I hope that it will also come out in English, maybe. So I don't know about that, but yeah, something I want to check out. Sure, solo, cooperative. Definitely want to check that out. And next up, another solo game, Light in the Dark. Pretty interesting theme because you're like a plague doctor and you're trying to heal a region from a plague that is yeah, plaguing the land. I don't quite know the the mechanisms here. Modular board, point-to-point movement, solo game. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. So yeah, you do have a board here, modular board. You're like walking around here. There are some tokens you can put there. You have your own player board, but apart from that, I cannot tell you what you actually do here. But it seems like it's not card driven. Oh, there are cards. There are actually cards here, and you just walk around that board and place tokens down. Maybe I don't know, but it is solo. So I would definitely take a look at. The box doesn't seem to be too big, too large. So I would definitely take a look at that as well. The theme is really cool. Next up is a cooperative dungeon crawler with a dice chucking mechanism. Explorers of the Woodlands. Really cool theme again. Let me just pull up some artwork here because it looks pretty cool here. And yeah, it's a dungeon crawler. I don't know anything more about that, but you see here, right? It's like pretty standard fare, but you seem to also be able to like put stuff like under your board. So that could be kind of cool as well. So yeah, just looking forward to checking that out. It looks like pretty standard fare, but I still at least want to see like what this is about. You can also play it solo. I don't think it's a children's game. I don't think so because it's ages 10 and up. So, but the weight isn't too high. So I think it's like a pretty nice intro to dungeon crawling. I at least want to check it out. Next up is a game that I have been wanting to buy for a while. But I don't know why I haven't yet. But now it comes out again, and now the English version, because I think it only was available in German, if I'm not mistaken. But this is like a grid movement dragon a game, and I think you can always like move in a straight line, and you can like get fish and stuff like that. And as far as I know, like these ice tiles here, they can actually disappear depending on where you move. I think you move to a specific spot and then that ice tile like disappears when you leave it or something like that. So you have to be careful not to get stranded on specific tiles. So yeah, pretty interesting, pretty cute. Like these look really cool as well, and they just published a new version with a new cover in English. So I might just get a copy. It's a very simple game, 2 to 4 players, fine, not too long. So I think that's a pretty nice game that I can put into my family board games collection. The next game is making a little buzz online, I think, Mycelia. This is I think kind of a deck building game where you try to improve your deck, of course, with better cards over time. And I think you have like dewdrops on your field, on your player board, and you're trying to clear those, right? And you do that with, I don't know, there's some tiles here, but you do that with cards as far as I know. You can like get better and better cards to actually do that. Sounds pretty interesting. Sounds not too complicated actually. It has a 2.0 rating. Well, only 8 votes, but still. Looks like something that I definitely want to check out. You can also play it solo, which is a really cool thing. Next up is a Tetris style roll and write. That's all I know about it. But that was already enough to take a look at it because I also like the artwork here, like this this kind of retro 80s vibe. I do like it a lot. I mean, it does fit, right? That's when Tetris was released, as far as I know, in the 80s. So yeah, just looking forward to just checking that out and seeing if that is something that I will take a look at. It's actually by AEG, which I didn't know, by Adrock Entertainment Group. I didn't know that. Next up is a game you can also only take a look at, maybe demo, is Imperium Horizons. I do have the other Imperium games at home. I haven't played them too much yet. I still need to do that because it's like quite a time investment to get to know these games. But they're games that I will play on the channel at some point, and I just want to take a look at this new version. So looking forward to that, actually, like with new civilizations and things like that. I think that's something quite interesting. And also with that version they are reprinting cards from Classics and Legends for like a few like balance and integration tweaks. So looking forward to that as well. I don't know too much about the next game. I know that it is also a solo game. You can also play it solo, up to 4 players. It's like a tile placement game where you try to build up a city. And that's pretty much all I know, right? I don't know any more, but I like the design. I like the title here. And that you can also play it solo is, of course, not too bad. And that's all I know. I don't know. That's all I can tell you about it, but I definitely want to check that out at Spiel as well if I get the chance. And the next two games, I don't know if they will be at Spiel or not. I hope so. We have Rocket Ranchers here, herding cats in space. I like that theme. That theme is just crazy, and I love crazy and unique themes. I just look at that. That is really weird, right? Like a plant elephant and a wool bee. I don't know. It's like really weird stuff here, but it just looks really cool. I just like that wacky kind of stuff, and it's like pretty much a set collection game. You're trying to collect animals. You don't want to have too. You want to have like a lot of animals of specific types. You don't want to have too little or too few animals of specific types. And also, some animals can have like cats clinging to them somehow. I don't know how that looks like. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. And you also want to collect those. So it seems to be like a pretty simple affair here, but it's something that I definitely want to take a look at to see what this is like. Last but not least, we have Wild Tile West, which is a tile laying game that you can also play solo, which is good. And well, the weight is higher than I thought. And you're trying to like build up like a Western settlement town, but you can also like fulfill contracts or like help citizens, I think. But you're trying like it's a polyomino tiling game, pretty much, right? But I'm always looking for those because first of all, I like this theme, but also like polyomino tiling games can be really cool. I'm always looking for like some that I enjoy a lot that you can play solo. So yeah. And that is the last game on my list. So yeah, that is the list. The second list of games that I'm interested in. Of course, I will not be able to see everything, but at least when I have like that on my list, I will put all these games and the other games from the first video on like a list for me. I will integrate them into the Spiel app. I will have like my own spreadsheet, like where like put them into like a priority list kind of thing, and then I will just see what I can like find and see this year. I'm looking forward to hopefully like finding cool stuff that I can show to you as my viewers of this channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and also down in the comments let me know which games you are excited for at Spiel. Also let me know if you are at Spiel this year, actually, if you are there in person. So that would be really cool to know. All right, thank you so much for watching. As usual, I want to thank all of you for your support, especially my patrons who are very generous by supporting me on Patreon. The biggest shout out goes out to Thecos, who is the most generous supporter at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. You know the drill. You can support me on Patreon as well if you want to. In general, I'm happy for any kind of support, including likes, comments, and especially subscriptions. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video or on my Discord server. Alright, take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.